The fire of love and passion has either extinguished or never burned. Are you familiar with such a situation? Remove the children from the screens, grab some paper and pens, because today we will talk about why your libido is being low, why men have problems with erection, and women simply don't need either relationships or men saying they need something else. By the end of this video, you will understand what is happening to you and how to get out of this state. My name is Vadym Sanzharov. I am a clinical psychologist, the creator of the School of Psychosomatics that helps people around the world, and the author of the bestseller Psychosomatics at Your Fingertips. On my channel, you will find everything about health and psychosomatics. Subscribe. Just literally about 3 or 4 years ago, almost exclusively women came to me for training because women are more conscious, more emotional, and they want to be healthy to understand themselves. There were practically no men, but now a lot of men come to me, which I am very happy about. And of course, their main theme is dealing with men's health issues. They also want to be healthy. And the first topic that affects your libido, both male and female diseases, is the theme of accepting yourself as a man and as a woman. Yes, this is actually a very big issue. From the outside, we see men and women, and it would seem that what problems can there be? Yes. But on the inside, when a man forbids himself to be a man, what does it mean? It could be a kind of soft vanilla boy who is afraid to offend someone, afraid to be aggressive. Inside, he is actually suppressing his masculine essence. He feels like an incomplete man. Or on the contrary, he might burst out, scream, be aggressive, another extreme. But inside, he will blame himself for it, internalizing the aggression. This self-blame can erode libido to the point of zero. And of course, there are reasons for this. It doesn't happen just like that. Perhaps there was an aggressive man in the family lineage, and now this boy, this man, compares himself to that man and suppresses this masculine energy within himself. He believes he can't be like that bad, dangerous man, and so he doesn't allow himself to be authentic. He is not whole, not in contact with himself. Therefore, he will do things he doesn't want to do. He will constantly try to please everyone, constantly live for others. Inside, he is destroying his masculine core. Most importantly, he will feel like an incomplete man. He won't have 100% masculine energy. This will affect his prostate, his libido, and his overall manifestation in life. Moreover, externally, he may appear as a muscular, good-looking man, but he might be experiencing hair loss, erectile problems, or other issues internally. His internal conflicts tell us that his body is signaling that being a true alpha male is dangerous for him. Now, as far as women are concerned, it's the same story. You can't be a woman. Even though we see a girl, beautiful, clearly a woman, inside there is a prohibition. The woman is moving away from her femininity. Perhaps she is afraid of being just like her mother. This is the first issue that may need to be addressed. I don't like my mother. She is too directive, or on the contrary, too soft, or something else. I don't want to be like my mother, so I don't allow myself to embrace my femininity. And that's where the problems start. When I can't be myself, I start pleasing everybody. I start taking care of everybody, being nice to everybody, or I completely escape from family, from relationships, into work. I need to prove to everyone who I am, where I am going. There can be various paths of sublimation, but internally, the problem is the same. I forbid myself to be a woman, to embrace the feminine aspect. In the case of men or boys, if there was a directive mother who suppressed the father, and now the man is an adult but doesn't allow himself to be a man because the mother suppressed the father, he needs to be good for his mother. So there is an unresolved separation. These are what you might call mommy's boys. Oh, I need everything to be good with my mom, to make her happy. I need to ask for advice, constantly call her every day. In other words, the person cannot detach, cannot separate. As you can understand, these issues affect absolutely everyone. They just touch some more deeply than others, and I have good news for you. you can join my webinar, The Secret Power of Parents, where I explain how our relationships with our parents influence our health, behavior, and our entire lives. There will be a link under this video. Make sure to register and attend. The next topic is the topic of shame. When a person does not accept themselves, they feel shame, like there is something wrong with them. Perhaps they are ashamed of their body, thinking they don't look right, or they feel shame about intimacy and relationships. In other words, there is complete and total self-rejection. And with all the people I work with, those who come to our training program, when they work through the state of shame, they have more libido, more energy, and more life manifests, because it is impossible to express oneself in this life, to open up to it when you do not accept yourself, when you feel that something is wrong with you. So let's understand together what the state of shame is. I am ashamed of something in myself. Often, a person cannot even understand what it is, but it consumes them. It seems to them that there is something wrong with their personality. There is a certain tonality, appearance, relationships, intellect, or something else. And of course, the roots grow from childhood. Perhaps it's parents who shamed me. Don't do that. It's shameful. You can't do that. You don't want that. And now it has formed as if these thoughts are now who I am. Or during the first sexual experience, in the course of prolonged relationships, or the first emotional contact with the opposite sex, where a man or a woman devalued their partner. So now, I feel ashamed. Something is wrong with me. And every time now when I communicate with the opposite sex or something happens, this program comes up in me. For example, A. Girl who had her first sexual experience and the man behaved not very well. Now every time she enters into new relationships, when it comes to, let's say, a sexual act, at that moment she immediately experiences stress. She says, I freeze, I can't explain it to myself. Not logically, not in any way, everything seems fine, everything seems good, but my body restricts me like this. Why? Because the body is falling into the past experience. So the second point, which is very important for us, is to understand what you are ashamed of. This is why you are experiencing shame for in your life. Where is the root of that shame coming from? What is it about in your life? When in the past did this shame form? These are very important and therapeutic questions for each person. And the third topic that touches absolutely every person is the topic of devaluation. Women usually say it's all my fault. Women, where it's necessary and not necessary, take everything upon themselves. It's all because of me. I'm a bad wife, a bad colleague, a bad daughter, and so on and so forth. Everything on myself. I am to blame. Although from the outside you look and think, oh, it's just a little bit of that. Yes, everything is fine with you. No. I mean, there's this inner powerlessness. And for men, they feel they are not capable. Not capable. To get a mammoth, not able to do this and that. This is how powerlessness manifests itself, yes. And these two components in men and in women, of course, they corrode them. I cannot be 100% man, 100% woman when I am constantly blaming myself for something. There's this powerlessness. And it comes to absurdity. If we take women blaming themselves for not being able to create relationships or not being able to have a child or having children but not being able to create something for them. I'm a bad mother, I'm a bad wife. I remember one illustrative case. I was working with a girl who had gynecological issues and libido problems. I played out a scene with her saying, imagine your husband comes home and you don't cook him dinner. And it was a shock for her. She said, how can I not cook? I must, I should. From early childhood, she was instilled with the belief that she is a good wife only when she revolves around her husband, even though she doesn't want to do it inherently, but she can't admit it to herself. When I showed her, illuminated the other side, she relaxed and she felt so good. It may seem like you never start cooking for your man, but when you stop cooking for him, in her case, her libido increased, her gynecological issues disappeared, and their relationship reached a completely different qualitative level. because very often in relationships we don't think about ourselves, we think about the other person, to please, not to be left alone, to be good. So powerlessness is very important. Just like with men, the main strategy is they love me for my money. Yes, dear ladies, that's how it is. They love me for my money, so I need a career, I need some status, I need to run. Therefore, he mistakenly spends all his resources on work, neglecting his woman, and then wonders why the marriage falls apart. Why, as they say, libido fades away. Why there's no unity? Because from the beginning he's running not towards reality, but towards his conflict, towards his trauma of unrecognized and undervalued self. Do you see? But when you meet yourself, begin to understand yourself from within, you begin to heal. So again, three main topics are: do I allow myself to be a man? Do I allow myself to be a woman? You can ask yourself this phrase. Yes, say, I am 100% woman, I am 100% man, and see how your body responds to that. If it relaxes, good. If it tenses up already, then there is something to work with. The second thing, what do I feel ashamed of, where you feel shame about yourself, is where there are issues with your personality, with self-esteem. And the third, of course, is helplessness, the feeling of guilt, self-blame, that I am not like others, or not as society, parents, or someone else wants me to be. Even if you work through these three issues, I assure you that your relationships and libido will reach a completely different level. And I remind you, friends, that I'm waiting for you at the webinar, The Secret Power of Parents. This webinar is absolutely free, and the registration link is below this video. This is Vadym Sanzharov. Health is simple. Thank you for your attention.